What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Club 33 podcast. And I know what episode it is this week. It's episode 14, and we're here. We're happy. Sky is in a new setting. Juice is eating some great peanut butter half-baked Ben & Jerry's I didn't even know existed. And it sounds freaking... It does. It looks really delicious.
They are sponsoring the podcast, so shout out to Ben & Jerry's.
R.I.P. Manscaped.
What are we gonna do for Ibotta? Oh my gosh, we're losing them. We're losing them left and right. It's ridiculous. But we're getting new ones, which is good. But this week we got some patch notes, some ideas of what's coming around. We also I don't know. Are you guys how are you guys feeling overall about the new stuff that's coming to the game? Just in general.
It's new. It's something. They really haven't given us enough information for me to kind of like have an opinion on it. But I mean, content is content, and we've been asking for content, so I'm excited for content to be coming whenever we get it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because I haven't really looked at the patch notes. I remember reading that like you need so many stars in order to start the new campaign. I was like, wait, what are they talking about? What stars? I was like, oh yeah, the villains campaign and heroes campaign. I went back actually on stream today to look and see if I'd finished every single node at 3 stars, and sure enough I did. And you don't need to have everything 3-star. I don't believe, but I guess they're adding it within that section there. I don't know if it's going to be a new thing in the center of your, not the center of your screen, but if you hit battle, will there be a new icon? I don't know. So I don't know if it's going to be new levels with like 3 waves of enemies type thing. I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. I'm hoping it's difficult. I'm hoping it's going to require different teams to get through. And like Sky said, things are very unclear on what we're going to be doing. But at least it's something. I remember when they like added the new summoner challenges to like they added the 4th tier, like that stuff was really fun for me because it was difficult at first and trying to get that stuff done with characters I haven't used in a while. So if I'm able to blow through this stuff within like an hour or two, especially if I do it on stream, I'm gonna be like, okay, we'll see. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
I mean, and those are good points, and there is a lot of confusion because Sky and I have discussed this. We need some English lessons or something. Because here, I'm going to reference one of the latest updates from June 1st, 2021 at 4:54 p.m. Pacific. Summoners, you will need 900 main adventure stars to access the new Ascension campaign. You're thinking, okay, what does that mean? As part of the new adventure campaigns update coming soon, you're like, okay, maybe that's 900 stars for the new main adventure, meaning you're gonna get 900 stars in main adventure to get the Ascension campaign. But wait, it says now is a good time to check back and clear out those 1-star nodes on grand heroes and villains, which makes me confused because I'm like, if you calculate the stars there, I'm like, that's like 900. So what are they doing? Are they gonna make heroes, grand, and villains the adventure campaign? Have we already done the main adventure? And then
I think that's it.
Yeah, right. It's confusing as hell. Unless they have a complete. It didn't
seem that way initially, but yeah, from the message yesterday, I think you're on the money.
Yeah, it's so confusing because I made a video about this and I was like, oh, maybe it's either 3 new campaigns or 5 new campaigns, because a new grand adventure, main, see, this is so freaking confusing. Main grand adventure, main hero adventure, main villain adventure. That's what I thought it could have been too. Plus a side adventure campaigns plus the Ascension campaign. But like what Sky and I just talked about and agreed upon is that we've already done the adventure campaign, apparently. That's my guess. I could be wrong. And then what's going to be new for us is the side adventure and Ascension campaign, which honestly I'm mixed on. I would love to have done a completely new campaign with 3 different ones, which would have been freaking awesome. But at least with the Ascension campaign, we can expedite that process and just go straight into it and get that gear. But I don't know, have you guys read in more into that? And Sky, you want to take it first, and we'll go to Juice.
Yeah. So what it seems like to me with that is that they basically they said we want to add to the campaign, and then they started talking about, we can have these things called sign adventures. And then they at some point decided that all the campaign we've done up until now is called main adventure campaign. But then they didn't tell us that it was called that, so there's no reason for us to think that that grouping of 3 different campaigns is called that. And then they kind of just forgot to tell us that there's new nomenclature in the game, and use new nomenclature, so we assumed it was new stuff. But yeah, it seems main adventure, then side adventure are some type of like event style is what it seems like to me, because they talk about Lion King side adventure campaign. So they're kind of, maybe they'll phase out the Lion King event, maybe they won't, but it seems more like event style, where each one will have a theme where you get tokens to specific characters. And then Ascension, I feel like at one point I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find the exact time. They mentioned like 3 different categories that were used for Ascension, but and it was like something haste, something charm, and then like something with the number 4. Maybe that was in data mines, but it seems like those Ascension's going to be some type of like requirement, whether it be something we've seen like offense, defense, support, or if it a new type of specification on characters. We've talked about Disney Era battle mode in the past with like the blue, green, red.
Yeah.
Could be something like that where they assign colors to characters, or it could be a variety of other things, you know, factions, sub-factions, etc. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, so Sky hit on really good points there. First of all, Dragon, if I wanted to see that video that you're talking about, where would I go watch that video?
Oh, youtube.com/DragonSoutGames.
There we go. Okay, just making sure. So for the campaign, what I'm thinking about is like, what if the actual layout is like, you know, like a overworld of like Super Mario, like Super Mario World, where it's like you see the overworld of a map, and then like there's levels that like zigzag up to a final boss type thing, and maybe that's how the campaigns look. And if it's Lion King theme, maybe like after each level, like for one part of the campaign you get Simba tokens, for the other ones you get Baloo tokens. So maybe the rewards are different per level, and then the final level is like Scar, and then you get so many of his tokens, and then each level could look like Lion King because they already have those levels already themed in. I'm not sure those, because they're doing an app update too. My only concern is like, I remember when the Forbidden Depths came out and they were teasing images of like what the world looked like, what the levels look like, and what Ursa looked like. They haven't done much of that. So I don't know if they're just like going to be using the same resources that's already in the game, and based on events that they've had in the past, that's what they're going to use. But I don't know. I don't know how the campaign's actually going to look. That's my idea if I were to do it, to make it more look like a kind of like a video game campaign or video game world, where you go to different levels to the very end type thing. I'm really not sure. Like I said, we haven't seen any type of images or any type of media that kind of like teases what we're going to actually be doing. But if it involves an app update, that's also intriguing too. But there can also be an app update just to like add in the new coding and the new infrastructures and stuff like too, without adding any new art or models or things like that. So
yeah,
that's my idea.
They're also going to be adding gear and ability upgrades.
The Delta runes and stuff too.
Delta runes, there we go. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. That's my idea if I were to do that. Especially if the first thing's Lion King. I don't know how many levels there'll be, but obviously, hopefully, you'll be getting gear and other type of stuff too, with tokens and stuff with that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a really solid point. And it's really easy for them too, right? They already have those Lion King levels built and stuff like that. So actually wouldn't be too tough for them to pull off. Be probably very cheap.
No, I love those ideas. Like, I would definitely love Baloo to be farmable, just because I want to get Baloo without spending club coins, right? Or wherever you get them. I think it's club coins. But there's 2 good comments here from chat. It's as if from Aladdin, it's as if they're making it up on the spot as they go. It's true, I swear. Like, they couldn't, I don't know why they can't make trailers for a lot of this stuff, like a big, supposedly big content update like this, because like Swaga, for instance, whenever there's a major content update, they always make like some type of video or trailer, and usually kind of gives like a mini tutorial, like when they brought in like relicking, for instance. And I think this is something that they could definitely do. They do graphics, I believe, but not very consistent. Like I can't remember, like if you know, like I'm talking about like the ones they do like for the Beast, for instance, like Beauty and Beast characters and like Frozen and stuff. They've done graphics for those and kind of doing little character bios. They haven't done that for like Cruella de Vil, I think, and I think they did it for Eve though. And actually, kind of changing topics here, but Cruella de Vil, she's gonna be another trophy of Maleficent and Zeus. Like that was the most ironic and just random and weird release I've ever seen. Just release a character and then she's not even usable. Made absolutely no sense to me.
I have a bit to say about that.
Mhm.
I think I know what's happened with Cruella.
I could be an idiot though, so yes, just saying that as well.
One thing that I want to talk about is, again, we don't have a lot of information on the Ascension mode, but it's reminding me a lot of a game mode from Marvel Strike Force, actually, which is Dark Dimension. So for those that aren't like aware, a Dark Dimension is a game mode in Marvel Strike Force that has originally, or it used to have 3, but they recently added 4 parts. And it's like very long waves where you have very high requirements to even start it. And it's all PvE, just like Ascension is highly insinuated. I'm looking at the wiki page right now. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. Like the first section's called Into the Darkness. So it has names, just like the names they were talking about with Ascension mode, with the Charming, with the Four, and with the, what was the last one? Haste. So the first one's Enter the Darkness. In order to start Enter the Darkness, players must reach player level 65 and have 5 characters at 6 stars. There are a series of 10 missions to be completed. Once completed, the player will receive roughly 1,300 gear items that will help your characters reach gear 13. It is recommended that your characters are at level 70. And it kind of goes from there, and each of them have their own requirements to enter the challenge, or whether it be characters or player level or both. And they give out very massive one-time rewards. I don't know if it'll look exactly like this again. Again, it's just a complete guess, but it is kind of sounding to be in similar vein as Dark Dimension. It is in Marvel Strike Force.
And I play MSF, but I'm not at that point yet. That's
Yeah.
very much out of my skill right now in the game. I'm still a baby in the game, but I would love something like that. You know, just gives you a bunch of replayability, right? And it gives you something to go towards, right? Because right now in DSA, what is there to go towards? Okay, if you got your Barley Who team or you got your Barley and stuff like that, you've already completed raids. Club Conquest, if Club Conquest 1, you got to think about the reward system. You haven't done so yet, but it takes a lot, right? But also the resources, you need 50 characters, like 50 strong characters on defense, right? And you may not use all those same characters on offense. So you may end up needing more than 50 characters to really be successful in Club Conquest overall and be an effective contributing character. So Club Conquest really is more like an end game type of, like end whale end game type of game mode. So at this point, not too much you want to go towards, unless you're a collector and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna gear up everyone and get them going. But yeah, that's something like Ascension, and if it were to mirror Dark Dimensions, would definitely give us something to go towards, or at least give us purpose to really play the game more often. But what are your thoughts, Juice?
I was gonna ask because I don't know. I've heard of Dark Dimensions before in MSF, but like it's just curious. But like I like the whole concept of getting rewards at the end of the campaign. Like that's cool. Is that like a one-time thing though? Like if once you finish a tower and you get that chest, you get those tokens, and that's the only time you can get it. So like, is that
Yeah,
No
that is a
clue.
great question. It seems like it is, but again, I've actually never played MSF. I just I've heard a lot of people talk to it. I'm a big fan of Tody Scungili, and I'll still watch some of his streams.
I mean, when
So
you
I
think
actually
about it,
don't
I'm
know, but
assuming it would
at
probably
least the lump sum of the rewards, if
Yeah.
not all the rewards, are one time in that mode.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense. Like, I wouldn't expect them to reset every day, but like, I would figure like once you get the rewards from that campaign, so let's say it's the Lion King, then you get those rewards, and then there'll be Aladdin one in the future. There'll be an Onward one. Like, there'll be other campaigns. So like, obviously, you'll get loot from the end of those too. So like, based on what campaign events out, once you get those rewards, then you're pretty much done. And maybe the next time it comes around, it resets. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah. And I mean, because there's the side campaigns and there's the Ascension. And for the side, I think it's gonna be like an event in the case that it's specific towards a certain IP or movie. But I don't think those are actually going to be seasonal. I think most likely those side adventures, from how it seems, are going to permanently be there once they come out. So it won't be like the Lion King event now where you have to wait. It'll probably just always be there. But again, we don't really know. It's all speculation.
We've got some big patch notes, boys.
Oh my gosh, I have to read.
You guys want to do this live or?
Sure, let's do it live. Maybe just
This will be a first. Yeah, this will be a first time.
Wait,
ever.
where is it?
here. I'll read it. I'll read it. Client content update 17.0 update not yet live. Summoners, we are extremely excited to announce the coming of 17.0 to DSA. This release will be combined release with our content update, so there is a ton of information below. We can't wait for you to get your hands on this release and provide feedback. Oh, I can't wait to provide feedback. Once this is out the door, we will get back to work on the other modes of our team has been putting together for you. See you on the arena. DSA dev team. Seeing Spots event is going to go live. Battle for your Kingdom's villains teams and battle to earn Cruella tokens. Sensational 6 coming back. Cruella pass holder. Pass holder XP leaderboard contest. Earn points. Okay. Ascension energy leaderboard contest. Earn points by using your Ascension energy level 65 only and above. So it's something to look forward to for new players, right? That's gonna be awesome. Or people going into level 60s and stuff. Free gear calendar. Enjoy this gift and celebration. Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Hopefully get some nice gear 8 materials.
I'm upset already.
Holy the crap. Look at all of these things they're putting on.
They are not nerfing Herc. Oh wait, no, it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom.
It's at the bottom.
Okay.
It's at the bottom.
It's at the bottom. Thank God. I was gonna lose it. I was really gonna lose it.
We were aware of this bug with Hercules, and while we will have liked to get it out for this release, after much investigating, the fix is much more complex than anticipated, and we'll tackle it at a later date. Dude, holy crap. You know, it's freaking hilarious how they have so many bugs and they're like, we're gonna get to them. Hey, people are like gonna be happy. Long live the king is fixed, supposedly.
Let's just start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning.
So I'm getting all over the place.
Let's go in a sequential order. Let's just talk. That was the intro. Dragon, start with the what events are coming, and then we'll talk about the character adjustments.
Okay, so the Cruella event coming around. So okay, I just made myself look like an idiot, but Cruella's coming to the game as a usable character. So, guys, happy for Cruella coming to the game?
Yeah, and see, this is why Kingdom villains got buffed, and this is why Kingdom villains are in the pass holder.
Mm-hmm. So the event's called Seeing Spots. Obviously, Dalmatians connection. Power up your Kingdom villains team and earn in battle to earn Cruella tokens. Cool. What's after that, Dragon?
There's a whole doc. Sorry, just not thinking at the bottom.
You want me to read it? Because I have them on my phone. I can read them if you want.
Sensational 6 part 1 and 2 coming back.
Heck yeah.
Good.
Juice, are you going for Sensational 6? Sorry.
I'm not wailing out on them. I think they're all 5-star at the moment, but I'm not going to, just because I have to gear them all up if I want to be able to have them all playable. If Mickey was just like a character I wanted to get solo, I would maybe, but no, it's not worth it. It's too much gear.
Just get that gear from the event.
For sure.
Yep.
New pass holder Cruella, so we did see that already coming to the game. I don't buy pass holder. I don't know if you guys buy pass holder. Pass holder XP leaderboard contest. Earn points by completing daily quests and using campaign energy. So this is nothing new. We've seen this before, guys. Ascension leaderboard, energy leaderboard contest. Earn points by using Ascension energy, level 65 and above only. So this is completely new for us, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work the same way that we already know how the other energy leaderboards work. But this time it's gonna be for Ascension energy. Kind of want to ask you guys' thoughts about this for like newer players. Do you think they'll be like disgruntled by this, or something for them to look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah.
at a certain point, if they're gonna make content for their player base, they have to make content that will only be for the higher level part of their fan base, right? Because as much as it's important to help out new players, they first and foremost have to create content for their most loyal patrons. So I think it's an unnecessary necessity to make this unattainable for early game players.
I'll say two things really quick. One, obviously this whole Ascension energy is kind of interesting. So like, obviously Grand Campaign is the purple lightning bolts, and then regular campaign is yellow. So is there going to be another energy that stocks up?
Yeah,
But it seems
probably gonna be like a green or like turquoise one. It's my guess. To
Okay.
stay in line with
The
the other
second thing I
games.
wanted to say is like, I don't think this will affect newer players. And the reason why is because like when I downloaded Disney Hero Battle Mode, there were like 5 things I couldn't even tap on to play because they were like behind level walls. So like there were
True.
certain things in that game I couldn't even do just because I wasn't a certain level. This will be just one of the first things you can't do in DS. I mean, even like Club Dungeon, you get locked behind on a level wall too, right? You need to be a certain level and in a club. So it's not a big deal. Like it'll be something to work towards and things like that. But yeah, as far as newer player goes, just grind and get 65 and set that as a goal. Keep going.
And you'll be at 65 before you know it, and you have the rest of the game to look forward to. Free gear login calendar. Enjoy the free gift in celebration of the Ascension campaign. Nice to see. June 4th, we have Coastal Conflict. So I believe that is the Speed Stones.
Yep.
So get ready for that. And Defensive Stones. So if you guys definitely stock up on those Speed Stones. Hunchback Tower coming back. So gonna be good. I'm guessing gonna coincide with Krell. So if you guys want to get like your Kingdom characters or Kingdom villains going, that would be a great event. Scrooge Money Bin Heist returning, good for gold. Train Tower event returns over the weekend, or into next week. My bad. So yeah, nothing crazy about those events. Those are pretty standard. I am happy that these, like the Coastal Conflict events, like the material events, come more quickly than before.
Something I'm really happy about is hopefully they're setting the precedent here that they're going to give exact dates for events, because that's the first time they've done it, which is really cool.
Yes, that is definitely a good step forward. They kind of did it before, then kind of got lackluster on it, but now they're coming around, and it looks like hopefully this is a new standard that Meathead and the devs do. Do you guys want to read through all of these? Is that what we're gonna do?
We can just, because when they're just talking about the characters, I don't think we need to read it. We can just say which characters are getting the changes and then list the changes.
Okay.
I don't think we need Glue's explanations.
We'll start off with Hero. Hero is getting updates on his special A. He's going to start like do it like that, and then change level 2 upgrade grants affected teammates evasion to grant affected tech teammates evasion. So now it's going to be more faction specific. That kind of like inclines, are they going to, this might be more synergy based stuff, like they're trying to go more synergy based. Special B upgrades increase magic costs from 3 to 4. That actually might be pretty big, because looking at Hero, that is his special B is going to be, that's his upgrade. That's I think that's going to be a pretty big game changer, because I mean that, like in raids, well, it shouldn't affect raids too much, but just like in general in Battlefield, it's going to be actually, I think it's going to be pretty big and kind of change things. What do you guys think?
Let's see, his leader. They're changed level 3 and 4 upgrades from 5% to 2% for tech teammates. This means the Big Hero 6 speed boost will not scale up with the upgrades, but will instead remain fixed at 6% across all levels. Wow.
That's a big change. That is a big change.
And then change Big Hero 6 teammates gain additional 15% to Big Hero 6 teammates gain additional 6%. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I
this
think-
is done. Sorry, go ahead, Juice.
That's
Go ahead.
huge.
I was gonna say, I think some wanna hear the explanations. I can read those. I can read those before we go into the thing. Do you think that'd be better for the?
Sure.
Okay. All right, we'll do it after Hero. We'll do it after Hero.
That was the last change.
Okay. There's a ton with Hero here. Is this because of the raid? What is this because of?
Because who are we talking about?
Hero, just in general.
Well, Hero's just too good.
Yeah.
Hero's stupid.
Want me
We
to
should
read
have
it?
done this sooner. Like, I'm so happy they're nerfing Hero because, like, Hero makes the game not fun.
Is Hero still playable with full tech team?
He's our lead. He's one of the leads.
Yeah.
Honest, I mean, he's. I don't even know, man. Because the
We'll
whole
have to see.
point of running Big Hero 6 was to be faster than everyone.
Yeah.
But,
So, I mean,
yeah.
they're not nerfing Baymax, so you probably see a lot of Baymax with no hero leads now.
Yeah, just for the taunt and just
Just
his
for the
overall
taunt,
kit.
yeah.
But do you guys want me to read it? The going back from the devs because I know Steve Brandt wanted to hear the explanation stuff.
Yeah, do the explanations.
Okay, we'll go through it all. Narrator time. Hiro Hamada.
You don't have to do Hero. We already talked about
Okay,
Hero.
Hero. Sheriff of Nottingham. Put simply, the sheriff was just laying down the law way too hard with his special abilities and was able to one-shot characters in certain situations. These changes aim to remove the ability to have unbounded damage scaling, but still allow for big hits if the correct conditions are met. So basically, in short, looks like Sheriff is going to be getting damage reductions, and that seems to be true. Moving on to sorry, go
This
ahead.
just shows me how out of touch they are with like the actual meta of PvP.
Yeah.
Because Sheriff hasn't. I'm the biggest Sheriff fan ever, and Sheriff has not been usable since Hurt came out.
That was beginning of this
So
year.
I'm really confused by this. They're nerfing a character that should have been nerfed 6 months ago again.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
Sheriff's not good in raids, so we can't even make the raid argument like we can with most of these other characters.
And that's true. I mean, this is definitely like all these characters could have been adjusted when they were actually usable, but I think they waited too long, like you said.
Yeah.
Moving on to.
Want me to go over the kit changes, Dragon, before we go on to the next character? Like, we'll do the description or the explanation, and then the kit changes, and we'll go to the next character after that.
Sure.
Do you want me to read the explanations? Do you read the kits, or do you want to do both?
Yeah, that works.
All right, so you read the kits, and then on the next character, I'll go up and read the explanation.
Okay. Sheriff of Nottingham. Special A. Well-timed treachery. Change bonus damage dealt values to the following: base level 75% to 30%, upgrade level 2 30% to 20%, same for upgrade level 4 30% to 20%. Special B, big bellied bully. Change bonus damage dealt values to the following: move initial unlock of bonus damage logic to upgrade level 2, upgrade level 2 25% bonus damage to 5 bonus damage. Change deal X% bonus damage per helpful effect on this character to deal X bonus damage per helpful effect on this character up to a max of 10. Just one quick comment, that is a lot of damage reduction across the board. So
Yeah. Well, so the
Yeah.
first one that was less reduced is the one is well-timed treachery, and that one is the one that gets bonus damage off opponent shields, which there will also assumingly be less shields in the meta with Hero getting nerfed. So that one, I think that's why it was a lower nerf than the other one, is because this one's getting a pseudo nerf by there being less heroes. And then Big Bellied Bully is, of course, the one with the helpful effects like it talks and the bonus damage going down to 1/5 of what it was. Nuts.
I mean, I don't have much comments. I think Sky hit the nail on the head right when we started talking about him. Like, the sheriff was relevant 6 months ago, and although he was super strong and things like that, there were still ways to kind of beat him, and sometimes there's RNG kind of that messed things up a little bit. But when Herc came into play, he was completely unplayable and things like that. So it's weird to see him on this list. But Sky's the sheriff expert, so I know he knows his stuff.
Maybe with the hero and all the other nerfs, Sheriff was really good again. But Sheriff was actually pretty good against Hero and all those people. He was bad against Herc only, basically. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right, next character. Let's move to Sven. Can someone say Raid, please?
Yeah, Raid nerf.
All right. Sven, here we go, guys. Sven was in the same boat as Sheriff in terms of needing an upper limit on the amount of bonus damage scaling on his abilities. Some of the hits from Sven that we've seen go way beyond what we intended in terms of Sven's damage output. However, we still want Sven to be able to lay out decent damage if the correct conditions are met. So these changes are intended to achieve that balance.
So in terms of his kit, for Sven, his basic Reindeer Dash change damage is increased by 25% per helpful effect on this character to damage is increased by 10% per helpful effect on this character up to a max of 10. Yeah.
Was this capped out?
Yeah, you're not going to see those like what 450 or 250,000 damages. For raids, you're going to see a max of like 200,000 damage, which still isn't bad, but you're gonna see a lot more like just 10,000, 20,000 damages, which a lot of people got used to more than that during raids, for instance. But that's what I see on this.
So I think the Sven nerf's really dumb, and I think they don't realize why Sven is good in raids. Yes, Sven does a ton of damage in raids, but he's good because he does passive damage that doesn't give turn meter, right? He can pass every single turn and never give turn meter to Ursula and just do passive damage. That's why Sven is good. That's why you see T6 Svens, right? Is because you just want passive damage.
Yeah.
So again, like sure, Sven's worse in raids now, but I think Sven's still the premier damage dealer in raids by a long shot.
Yeah.
What they should have done, I think, is probably nerfed Crunchy Carrot, given it maybe need 2 magic, so not every single turn, or even possibly 3.
That'd be a way larger nerf for Sven.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's move on to Stitch. Stitch. Only one change was made to Stitch, which was to put an upper limit to the duration that Stitch can extend defense down on a target opponent. Similar to Sheriff and Sven, this unbounded damage scaling made for some unintentionally strong attacks, so this change is intended to address that.
So for Stitch, for his kit, basic, changed each hit from this attack has an X chance to inflict or extend defense down for 1 turn, to each hit from this attack has X% chance to inflict or extend defense down for 1 turn up to a max of 5.
Yeah. So you never use Stitch again in raids, right? Straight up.
No.
We'll see.
Like,
No.
Sven, I think, still rocks in raids, but Stitch, they destroyed him.
Yeah. So obviously, someone who's used Stitch on probably my highest damage dealing teams in raids, it was like what, trying to get defense down up to 100 or 150, over 100 at least, 120 before you start spamming buggy. But obviously, when you're capping this out at 5, it's pretty weak. I honestly think if Stitch has any value anywhere else in this game after this, it's either maybe some strong Oceanic team in Cub Conquest, or like you're using Stitch against some tech team if that becomes meta at some point. But aside from that, I think he's dead.
Yeah, no, he's no use in raids, and he already wasn't good because there wasn't enough Big Hero 6, and now there's going to be even less Big Hero 6. Yeah. So I think Stitch might be in Triton tier as far as actually buying his tokens now.
Yeah, unfortunately. So obviously looks like we have kind of maybe 2 PvP nerfs with Hero and Sheriff, and then Sven and Stitch are raids. Let's move on to Cobra Bubbles. Cobra Bubbles. Cobra Bubbles is a beast of a character. His abilities do many, many things, and he can also deal out significant damage. The changes we've made to Cobra Bubbles bring him more in line with other support characters. However, we suspect he will still retain a very high status as a high utility support. Overall, Cobra still plays similarly to how he did before, but he is tuned to be more balanced.
Cobra Bubbles. Basic. Information is power. Reduce damage dealt on this ability since we felt it was currently undervaluing the utility of the magic gain that it offers for Cobra special abilities. Interesting. Special A. Stare Down. Change level 2 upgrade from inflict silence for 1 turn to 50% chance to inflict silence for 1 turn. Reduce initial speed meter decrease from 30% to 10%. Increase magic costs from 3 to 4. Special B, Call Me Next Time, base level. Lower duration of tactics, haste, and offense up from 2 to 1. Increase magic costs from 4 to 5. Holy crap.
They destroyed poor Bubbles. Holy shit.
Like, he was like one of the go-tos you would go for a newer player, in my opinion, for Oceanics.
Right? And especially because you wanted to get Stitch, but now you don't even want to get Stitch, and you don't even want to get Bubbles.
I'm so happy I didn't make a farming guide recently. Because now I have to rethink everything.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So
yeah.
the thing about Bubbles, and things have kind of changed recently because I've seen more Bubbles being played now. Especially in, like, I guess PvP in some sense. I've seen still Bubbles being paired up with Herc, which can be some type of combo. But at the beginning, when I used to run Bubbles on my team, as soon as Herc came out, I had to take Bubbles off because he was just kind of like just a Herc punching bag because he kept gaining speed meter when his allies took damage. It seems like, I mean, the 50% on stare down's deadly because, like, obviously you used to use that to strip taunt from Baymax way back in the meta, but now if you don't hit the 50%, you're screwed.
The turn meter.
Yeah.
Is crazy because if no one knows how the ability is worded, is the upgraded the upgrade to stare down, I forget which level, doubles the turn meter reduction. So it used to double 30% and now it only doubles 10%.
Yeah.
So that's really
That's true.
40% less a 40% less turn meter reduction on top of only having a 50% chance to silence. And magic going up by 1.
It's hard to kind of identify which type of mode they're kind of focusing on with him because obviously stripping the speed meter from raid is definitely a thing on those raid bosses, but like obviously it's really good in PvP too.
I think I'd put Hero and Cobra are double nerfs. I think.
Yeah, I
it's
agree
safe
with
to say
that.
they wanted them to be worse in both PvP and raids.
I'm just like trying to take this all in and like think about my roster and like how I have to pivot.
Yeah. Well, it's like now you're looking at Big Hero 6 went from like 5 usable characters to now we're kind of looking at it's like, well, you just get it for Baymax.
Yeah.
That's what
Like
we're
a
looking
Beauty
at,
and the
I
Beast,
think.
huh?
I don't think Big Hero 6 is going to be very viable.
Yeah.
Apart from Baymax. Baymax is still going to be great.
Yeah.
Now I have to reconsider, like, are they going to be like still the best starter team?
Very possibly not, honestly.
Best starter team that'll carry you into late game, right? Because they were just known for speed, right? That was their biggest thing.
Yeah. And now, like, Kingdom Speed is actually something important again, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like Kingdom is outspeeding other teams, so we're looking at Namari and Frollo, some characters that came out that just never were fast enough since they came out. Maybe now that the speed overall is going to be going down, their speed is going to be better, so they'll be able to punch up a bit more.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sean Yu, right?
Yeah.
Shun
Yeah.
you. We do have one more though with honey lemon juice. If you want to go over that
Yeah,
one.
let's do Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon is another great character in terms of her support utility. The one change we made with her was to reduce the damage of her "now that's a chemical reaction" ability. It was hitting too hard and also inflicting very strong debuffs, so we tuned the damage down a bit to achieve a better balance given this ability's utility.
So in terms of her kit, for honey lemon, her special A, now that's a chemical reaction, reduce damage amount by X%. This ability was never meant to smack as hard as it does, given the fact that it is doing so many other strong debuffs. I don't know how I feel about that one.
So this one's really interesting too, because we know that the next upgrade level to now that's a chemical reaction is a damage increase by 50% because they accidentally leaked that into the game. So they're reducing it so they can increase it by 50%. So I'm pretty confused by that.
Yeah.
And like I always thought that it was really, the kind of high damage was really fitting because she is a damage character, and that was about the only damage thing she could do.
Yeah.
So really weird change to me, honestly.
See, the thing that stood out to me and the thing that wasn't nerfed was like you pull Honey Lemon into the raid to strip buffs. Like if you're facing Glut, you strip the attack down and you strip down the tenacity that he gets so he doesn't swipe your first row and like one shot if you don't have micro barrier up with hero. Like that's why you bring in Honey Lemon. Obviously the passive strips turn meter just a little bit, but nothing really impactful. So if anything, I didn't think it was the damage. I know the damage was high back in the day during like the super silence meta and stuff like that, and it was super annoying, but like this reminds me of like a Sheriff of Nottingham. It's like this was you're almost not a year late, but you're 6-8 months late on this. Is like Honey Lemon hasn't been played in a long time, and if anything, it was them taking off debuffs while stunning at the same time. That was the issue with her.
Yeah,
for the super silence.
The super silence.
Yeah, so the damage thing, whatever.
There's they have new tags
a couple,
now.
Good things in chat that I kind of want to address.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Aladdin said, so Sheriff's passive, so they left Sheriff's broken passive, and the answer is yes. So they left the most degenerate part of Sheriff, so Sheriff will still be degenerate. He'll just deal less damage. So he's I mean, I don't know. It's weird. That like what everyone complained about was his passive, not his damage. That's a good point, Aladdin. That change really doesn't make sense. And then Insomnia asked if Pain and Panic were nerfed, and no, any character that's come out recently wasn't nerfed, probably so they don't get refund requests.
You don't know what the refund requests are, you're missing out. But
To the
we got
character
new
tags.
character tags, right? That's the next part.
new character tags.
So Kingdom Hero and Kingdom Villain are the new Downtown Hero and Downtown Villain. And don't worry, they're just as lopsided as Downtown Hero and Downtown Villain, where there's over twice as many Kingdom Heroes.
Almost 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, how many are
so, like-
usable?
Well, okay, if we're talking about like Kingdom Villains, who like it's kind of a weird question who you're supposed to farm to get to go for Cruella, right? Because we're looking at the full list is Frollo, Shan Yu, Gaston, Jafar, Gothel, Namari, Sheriff, and Yzma. So like Shan Yu and then like Frollo, it's gonna take a while. You won't have him up for this pass. Jafar, you probably don't have up. Maybe you do. Like there's only really 4 farmable characters here, and the rest are event or tower characters.
Yeah. And like
So
your farmability is Sheriff, Yzma, and Gaston, and with Sheriff getting nerfed so hard, of course we don't know what he's gonna look like. His passive is still gonna be the same, but damage wise it's gotten reduced dramatically.
yeah,
He's still
I'm
probably
so-
the best one out of the 3, obviously.
So if you really wanted to get 5 Kingdom villains up for Quella's event, I think the best option, unless you already have a different character, different premium character up, is probably Shan Yu, Gaston, Sheriff Yzma, and then a slow grind on Frollo from his tower. That's probably what I'm going to end up going for. I have been working on my Kingdom villains for about 2 weeks now. So Gaston and Yzma are beefed up a bit, so
Yeah.
I'll at least get to the 5-star part of the event.
Wait, so question. So currently, before, all these characters just had a kingdom tag. So like all the gear you would get through the exchange, do they need to separate that stuff? Like how does that?
Great question.
Well,
I feel like they almost can't because people buy Kingdom gear, and what is that
Yeah,
Kingdom?
that's what I'm
gear
gonna
now?
say. That yeah, it shouldn't have a change, I think, at all in terms of like the gear for Gear 8, right? It shouldn't have an effect on it. And then
There are a shit ton of bugs that were fixed. I don't know how you guys want to do this. Did I say? I mean, it's not too much.
we could go 5 at a time and then give our feedback.
Can I do the Herc ones?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So bugs that were fixed and highlights and more. Hercules performs an attack on opponent affected with Intimidate after gaining Speed Fill or Speed Meter. So basically what was happening is I would give Speed Meter to a character that has Intimidate, and my opponent's Hercules would do the I can't believe it's not counter attack on him for that Speed Meter, even though I didn't gain it. So this is a good change. It's going to make Herc just do his basic for free that much less. So yay, that's how it should have worked the whole time. Hercules plus Patient. Hercules gets empowered after gaining invincibility using Patient buff. This is kind of weird where they're saying it like a statement, not how it was changed. That's like already happened, I thought. But maybe they're
Wait, so
saying
if
this
he
doesn't
did-
happen anymore.
If he didn't have 5 stacks of heroism, whatever it's called, but he gets the patient buff, he automatically becomes empowered.
That's
Was
what
that happening?
sounds like it's saying.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense to me. So maybe that's I see. So Steve's saying it means he'll gain invincibility, but he won't get empowered. That was happening.
Oh, so it was.
Sure,
happening.
but this is not how it's written.
Yes.
So I think you're right.
Again with the English ESL.
Yeah, it's stating the glitch that's happening currently, not that they're changing it.
Unless the nenext line, Hercules plus
Hercules
Baymax.
plus Baymax. Baymax patient buff removes the protect buff from Hercules. Yeah, so that was counted like as taunt, I believe, and now it's not being counted as taunt. But then it was weird because he could gain protect after, so it was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Hercules uses all his counterattacks on a teammate when they attack him while charmed. So that's good. There's so many charm bugs in this game, and this is just one of them. If Hercules becomes empowered while charmed, his ability icons are missing during his next turn. It's just a visual bug.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this will make Herc a teeny tiny bit worse.
Oh boy. No, then
Yeah,
he's gonna
it's
go
just a
from
teeny tiny
Hercules to
bit.
Hercules.
No, like he's still the best character in the game, I think. I don't think Ursula's better than him after this.
You should just keep going with these, guy, because you're doing a good job explaining them too, and I appreciate it.
All right. I do want to talk about the bottom. I'm going to skip to the bottom because they're talking more about Hercules.
Yeah.
So Hercules doesn't lose protect when invulnerable. We are aware of this bug with Hercules, and while we would have liked to get it out for this release after doing much investigating, the fix is more complex than anticipated, and we will tackle it at a later date. So that this actually will be a big change to Hercules. Right now, when he becomes empowered, he either already has or will pretty quickly gain protect, making you target him exclusively while he's empowered. It's a super not fun game mechanic, and it just kind of makes you feel like you can't do anything unless you have Mortal Potion up.
Yeah.
So this will be a good nerf, and I really can't wait for that to happen because It's maybe, I think that's this and the counterattacks not being called counterattacks, I think, are the two most toxic things about Herc. So that'll
Yeah,
be
it's
a
kind of
nice
like
change.
it's like when Maui has taunt and he has the 2 stacks and invul, and you're just like hitting him over and over, and you're just like, hey,
Yeah,
this sucks.
but like that one is like that's Maui's whole thing.
Yeah.
It's that one's like, oh yeah, I feel like this is a really important part of my character's kit that was really designed intentionally, and then Herc just feels bad.
Sure.
Let's see. Flipping buff / debuff, which does not have turn count on it, flips into healing over time / damage over time for 0 turns. That's pretty interesting. So certain buffs and debuffs don't have counts on them. So I honestly don't know what healing and damage over time for 0 turns do. I have no
I feel
idea.
like I've seen that over like my character's heads sometimes, where it has
Yeah,
like
but
a
I
dot
don't
and it says
actually
0.
know what it does. So it seems like it
Chat
should
if you
do
know,
nothing.
say it. Speak up in chat if you guys know.
That's like the green icon, right? And like maybe like continuous damage.
Yeah. So I
Something
don't
like
know.
that.
I don't know if healing or damage over time for 0 turns does anything.
Yeah.
But it's gonna happen. Let's see, honey lemon. Now that's a chemical reaction. The ability does not apply harmful effects if one of the helpful effects removed by it was harmful immunity. That's a chemical reaction. I believe that's her special with the big damage. Yeah, the one that got nerfed.
Yeah, the stun.
So harmful immunity got a little buff against honey lemon. Cool. Characters affected by unstoppable buff are gonna properly be immune to silent stun and charm.
Yeah.
That I've seen that happen so many times where they still get silenced or stunned, and it's like, why is unstoppable even there?
Yeah.
Foul play was apparently sometimes not stealing any buffs. Not that anyone noticed.
Yep.
Yep.
Gars, long live the king. He'll no longer fail to assist allies. I believe that's something about allies attacking with continuous, an opponent with the continuous damage.
Yeah.
So Scar will do more consistent assisting.
Honestly,
Ursula.
I've seen that one so many times lately. I'm just like, people actually use scars still. I'm surprised.
Let's see. Ursula, Vengeance. Vengeance gain trigger while stunned, and it does not cleanse stun from Ursula. Does anyone know which one is Vengeance? Is that her passive maybe that triggers
got it
on
up.
eels dying or lowering below 50%?
I'm looking it up.
Vengeance is her first passive. The first time an allied Flotsam or Jetsam is defeated, or this character's health is reduced below 50%, it's the cleanse all harmful effects and then blind.
Gotcha. So it just was not cleansing stun as it said it did sometimes, because I've also seen this happen. So
Yeah.
ability is working as intended. Hopper. Ooh, we've been waiting for this one. Hopper's special ability, Let's Ride, purges all helpful effects from the opponent every time, despite having a 40% chance after upgrading level 4. So they're nerfing Hopper.
Man, how can they nerf the best character in the game? That's unbelievable.
Oh my god. That is epic, honestly.
Hopper Squad, you guys are probably disappointed.
Wait,
by
how is that? How is that a nerf?
What? Well, right now it's purging every time, but it actually has a 40% chance to trigger.
Oh,
so now it's
okay.
going to properly have the 40% chance.
Oh,
to
I
trigger.
thought they changed it to automatically do all
No,
of it.
yeah,
rather than
they're saying instead of they're saying the fix, they're saying the bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a very
what's confusing.
confusing way to lay this entire thing out.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say this. If I was ESL, I'd be so confused right now.
Yeah, this isn't the best.
Yeah.
Blue Fairy Magic. The spell applies continuous damage for 0 turns if it cleanses vulnerable. But now they're Oh, okay, I see. They're stating the buff. So earlier when we talked about the healing and damage over time for 0 turns, that's no longer going to happen. And that also is going to be a thing when you're flipping the buffs with Blue Fairy Magic. It will no longer say 0 turns, so you'll get the proper buff or debuff. Sven, reindeers are better than people, which I believe is his passive that allows him to steal buffs.
Yes.
No, it's his passive that allows him to assist. When
Yes.
assisting, Sven's getting offense up from the level 2 upgrade, even if the move is level 1. Oh no, you'll
That's
have
the,
to use those 25 alphas.
That's when on a teammate performing a basic attack, this character has a 20% chance to assist. If the teammate's Kristoff, then it's guaranteed. And then 30% chance to gain offensive up for 2 turns when assisting.
Nice.
Whatever.
Yzma's Pull the Lever, which is her second special with the amusement park ride. The ability lowers the enemy speed bars to 0 regardless of the amount of speed they had. I don't really know what this bug really is.
Yeah. Pieman should know.
I think it's supposed to reduce it to 0, but insane regardless amount of the speed they had. So I really don't know what this changes from the wording. Yeah. No
It's-
idea.
yeah,
Because
really-
right now it's supposed to reduce the speed meter by a certain percent.
Ooh, that sounds right.
Yeah, it deals damage to the target opponent and flanking opponents. Reduce speed meter by 50%. So currently it's stripping it to 0.
Oh,
when it
nerf
should be 50.
Yzma.
Yeah,
Nerf Yzma.
They nerfed her. They nerfed Easers, man.
Let's see. Prince Eric, don't worry, I'll help you. Prince Eric's passive ability, don't worry, I'll help you, triggers for a charmed opponent character. So this is more just charmed bugs where opponents' characters are treated as friendly when charmed, or friendly characters are considered opponents while that character is charmed. So they're just cleaning up a lot of the charmed bugs, or charmed bugs rather. The beast ability, Beastly Rage ability, sometimes does not steal any buffs. I feel like that one I have hardly seen lately. I much more was hoping the Beast's Rose ability would be fixed, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So yeah. Oh well. Cobra Bubbles continues to gain speed meter when intimidated, so that's no longer gonna happen because Cobra need more nerfs. And then Stitch, Experiment 66. Stitch counterattacks despite the Intimidate harmful effect. Yeah. Intimidate
Wait, quick question. Sorry. I know you read
you're
the Beast thing. Is the Beast thing good?
It will help Beast. Beastly Rage is his ability where he jumps and steals 2 buffs from the opponent, and sometimes that didn't work properly. He didn't steal the buffs.
I noticed
okay.
that.
Good.
Yeah.
I noticed that now that it's been brought up.
Yeah, it's a good one. Let's see. Elsa cannot use her abilities when her glacial armor and the bridge passive abilities get activated during the same turn.
My
So,
Elsa.
yeah, there's a thing where like let's say at the start of your turn your opponent counterattacked for some odd reason with Elsa and you went into glacial armor, that would effectively just skip your turn.
Yeah.
Or no, this is actually talking about when you were in the bridge, which is the 4 spirits. So if you got your 4th spirit and you were in glacial armor, I guess you couldn't use abilities.
Oh no, you couldn't
extremely
use. You couldn't use it. You could not use it.
I guess
not
you
use
couldn't.
It at
So
all.
it seems like it wasn't affecting anyone too much.
Yeah.
It was affecting me every time I used Elsa.
Yeah, me too. Every 0 times I use Elsa.
Every time when I used her, which was like 3 months ago.
Right.
But when I still used to use her, it was a freaking pain in the butt.
Yeah. Dr. Vasilier's Dark Redemption passive ability triggers before it was unlocked. I don't know what his passive is. I have no idea.
Honey Lemon.
His passive is the potency.
Oh yeah, it gives like extra potency to downtown villains, right?
No, sorry, that's his leadership. That's his leadership.
That is
his
Dark
leadership.
Redemption's when he heals when a ally gets killed.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you probably unlocked that at like year 3 or something. So I guess
gonna
for
affect
all
so
those
many
year 1 and
people.
year 2 Dr. Faciliers, it's gonna happen at the proper time now. No cheating the system.
Shame, shame, shame.
Honey Lemon auto battle. Honey Lemon might skip her turn on auto battle mode. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. That was how I always used to know people were botting, is when their Honey Lemons would just skip their turn. So yeah, makes Honey Lemon a little better on defense, I guess. But I mean, no one's really doing that. Baymax, you are my patient. Patience is not removed from allied character if Baymax is defeated while charmed. Another charm fix, but
Didn't even know that was a thing.
yep.
So we have a decision we need to make because
Yeah, what's up?
they also included a Word document
Oh, no
on the
thanks.
bottom, which includes, quote, the following DSA ability changes.
There's so many guys.
There's a shit ton.
I mean, I skimmed
I've also
through it.
used 80% of my hotspot for the month, but I'm supposed to
Yeah.
get internet tonight, so I can use all of it.
I think we
man.
should. I mean, we could go over like, I don't know.
I
Do we each want to
okay.
choose like 2 or 3 characters?
Sure.
Or let's see, like I don't know.
Or
if
how
anyone
about let's
has...
just go down the list, and if we agree on it, let's just go over it really quick.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
I mean, there's
have
some
the
that we
list up.
obviously want to talk about, and some that we obviously won't.
I have the list up, and then we'll start at the top, and if you guys say yes, then we'll
We're-
go for it. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Aladdin? No. Anger? No. Yeah, Anna? No. Ariel? Baloo? No. Barley? No. Baymax? Do Baymax?
Yeah, I could go for
Okay.
Baymax.
All right, Baymax. His
Doesn't
basic
look
has
too important though.
50% damage dealt for his basic. His special A, which I believe is patient, is 20% health stored. Special B is his major impact. That's 30% health restored, so more health. And then his passive is 1 harmful effect cleanse. I don't know what the passive does again.
Passive B. Is that the one when he dies? Maybe.
No, passive B is. Oh, my game's loading. Passive B is, are you satisfied with your care? On this character being defeated, perform the following. It cleanses the harmful effects and then heals.
You're right, Sky.
So yeah, it's just additional harmful effect cleansed. You guys want to do Bell?
I think that's probably the winner out of the Baymax changes. Still don't
Yeah,
know
that's
if
actually
it'll be worth
pretty
these
good.
Delta runes, but that's a good ability.
That's 2 harmful effects, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I think
You guys
that's
wanna do
pretty.
Bell,
I could
or
see
no?
that being worthwhile.
No, I'm going with Bell.
No.
Okay. Big Baby, no. Big Bad Wolf, no.
Yes. I'm just kidding.
wanna do
Go-
Big Bad
no,
Wolf?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. It's mostly just damage.
Yeah.
Bo Peep, no. Buzz Lightyear, no. Gantu, no.
I actually
Captain
want to
Hook-
talk about Gantu. I just want to talk about one of his abilities.
Yeah, let's do it. His basic
Um,
is 50% damage dealt. His first
that
special,
one-
which is
The special B is pretty interesting to me. Because he can give all teammates tactics now, not just Oceanic.
+1 in Oceanic. Okay.
Yeah, so all teammates gain tactics and
That's
plus
pretty
1
good.
to Oceanic teammates. So that's something to, I think, to keep your eye on if there's some teams that really benefit from AoE tactics, because that's pretty big.
That's a dope. Captain Hook, no. Chip, no. Chunk, no. Cobra Bubbles, definitely no. Cogsworth, no. Daisy Duck, no. Dale, no. Darkwing Duck, no. Dash, no. Davy Jones, no. Demona, no. Donald Duck, no. Facilier, no. Elastigirl. Seems like, by the way, guys, seems like a lot of it's just damage based, but then if you look, maybe it's just the specials and maybe the passives that we can need to look at. I'm kind of glancing at as we're going, but most of these are gonna be no's. Elsa.
Elsa is
Elsa.
getting plus 50% to show yourself.
Oh, is that to compete with?
So that could potentially be big.
She could be usable. Is that what you're telling me?
Damn, dude, Emperor Zerg. Zerg Vision's getting another 50% damage increase.
Well, then his passive A. I thought it was especially, but passive A reduce magic cost by 1. What does that do?
That
could be important.
Because that's his passive where he does the little attack before his turn, and I think right now it's only at 2, so I think that'll put that passive down to 3 if I'm or
No, it's at 3, going
right
to go
now
down to
it's at 3,
2.
so it'll go down to 2. Yeah.
That could be a
So that's
game
Yeah,
pretty
changer.
the first passive is the AoE shot where it hits all the enemies with the green bullets, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll
That's
happen
actually
more
damn
often
good.
now.
Flynn, no. Fred, no. Frozone, no. Gadget, no. Gaston, no. Genie, no. Gizmo Duck, doesn't seem like anything. Go-Go. 10% damage increased per charge. Is that zero resistance?
Yeah. So that's decent, but it's not anything crazy.
She doesn't have a lot of charge turn 1, right? You're using that on your first
I
turn. pretty
mean,
much.
she can have charge or it's the second attack she does. So it is going to be harder to get those charges up if we're seeing less Big Hero 6, and she's just going to be far worse with a lower speed.
Yep.
So I don't think that's anything too crazy, but we could be wrong.
Goofy,
More-
Skip. Let's look at Hades really quick. His
Mhm.
passive A. You want to read it, Sky? Or do you have it?
Sure. +1 guaranteed crit gained on becoming empowered. Pretty good.
Oh, that's Herc. Hades.
Oh. I messed that one up. Where's Hades?
When this
Just right above Hercules.
Someone else shake it. I can't find it.
when this
Mm.
character gains empowered, 50% chance to gain 1 magic for all abilities.
Pretty good. Special B getting
Hades, I think.
50% bonus damage. That's
Yeah.
a big deal too.
I don't think he needs
I
it.
believe that's the one he assists Pain and Panic with.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it said bonus, like a bonus damage. Never mind, it's reduction.
What's his special B? Is that the flanking move where he hits the flanking row for Hades?
I believe it's the AoE one. but I could
Oh,
be
so
mistaken.
50% damage on that. That's pretty damn
That's a
good.
big deal.
And his basic hits pretty damn hard too. That's another
Mhm.
50% on that.
So, and right, you get both his basic and his special B. You get to do more times with Pain and Panic, right?
Yeah.
So those both getting damage increases. I'm liking Hades additions.
All right, guys. Hercules. 50%
Disgusting.
on the basic. Special A, which is 0 to
No,
hero. right?
I want to talk about the basic because I'm upset about that.
Yeah.
His basic already does what near 3,000, right? Each hit,
Yeah.
or like, yeah, like what? Why would they ever give bonus damage to his basic, which is already the like highest damage basic in the game that he gets to assist with willy nilly? Like, oh my god.
Special A, 0 to hero. That's where he pulls out the sword and does that thing. So additional 50% damage on that. That does a shit
Yeah.
ton of damage too.
Now you just one shot characters.
His first passive, 1% guaranteed to crit when becoming empowered. So he gets 2?
Yeah.
Or just, yeah. And then passive B, another 10% damage reduction for basic. So once that's upgraded, that's 20%.
And they didn't fix the extra damage reduction that Protect gives. So
Yeah.
this really could make him, if they're not fixing that, the passive B upgrade could really make him take no damage.
Hermes, we'll skip. Hero, we talked about his nerfs. They're just giving him 2% speed on his leadership, so that becomes 8 speed rather than 6, correct? For tech teammates or Big Hero 6?
I think so, but then they also
20 base shield. That's pretty big too.
they aren't very specific. It says 2% speed could be for tech only.
Yeah. Honey Lemon, we'll skip. Hopper,
Ho-
we'll skip.
Hopper's special B though, just real quick. They didn't know how they fixed it from going to 100%. Well, they just add another 20% to chance to purge all helpful effects. So it's getting closer and closer to 100%. That's pretty funny.
Horn King, skip. Ian, skip. Jack Skellington, skip. Jack Sparrows, skip. Jack, skip. Javar, skip. Jangle, skip. Jasmine.
I want to talk. Oh wait, no, I guess he hasn't come up yet. I'll wait.
Jasmine, skip. Jesse, skip. Judy, skip. Triton, skip.
Yeah.
Kristoff, skip.
Nothing here.
Kronk, skip. Lotso, skip. Lumiere? That's interesting. 45% chance. Guaranteed crit? No.
Hmm.
Madam Mim? Maui. The Maui Wowie?
Howard,
No,
Howard
wow.
Chance
next
and
one.
Flick
Next
Stone.
one, Maurice.
Oh, Maurice.
Gosh. Leader 15%.
I just want to talk about his lead.
Wow.
The leads give you an additional 15% speed to summoned units. So, be patient. The Maurice lead team is coming.
Heard this one before.
It's just a matter of time.
Is the 30%, the thing for Maui really quick, is the 30% shield, is that ever going to become viable? More shields at the start of the battle for Oceanics?
I mean, the problem with Maui lead is just Ursula, right?
Yeah.
Because you run Maui lead, the shield is nice, but you mainly want to get that free hit and taunt on a character and take them out, but it always just goes on eels. So yeah.
All right. Maximus, skip. Meg, skip. Merida, bonus offense per wisp, so more damage coming from her and her other moves. Merlin, whatever. Mickey, leadership, 1% bonus offense, 1% bonus defense per active sensational 6, so they'll be a little bit stronger on defense teams, whatever.
Yeah.
Miguel is leads still, whatever. Minnie Mouse, whatever.
Miguel's lead change actually is pretty big deal, I think.
Is it? Yeah, go for it.
Because right now it's only at like 10 or 15% of their max health, so that's going to like 20, 25. It's making the revives a lot bigger deal. You're also getting harmful effect split, or an additional harmful effect flipped with his specialty. So, I'm liking Miguel's buffs.
Minnie Mouse is whatever. I think Moana's interesting. Another 50% damage on her basic. That's more paddle smacking. It's a ton of damage.
Like, she needs it.
Yeah. So Moana, you could see Moana get a lot better in raids too, right?
Especially if like princess teams become viable now that Hero's out.
Yeah.
Moderate Jack, whatever. Mordu, skip. Mother Gothel, skip. Mr. Incredibles, no. Mrs. Potts, no. Mulan, no. Namari. More damage on basic and specials, but her passive is damage reduction and 15% max damage reduction. Okay. Olaf, whatever. Oogie Boogie, whatever. Pain and Panic. Another evasion on his passive. 15% speed stolen for special A. I know you're Pain and Panic Hades guy.
Special. That's the big deal.
Okay.
What? Yeah, because special A is the one where you put them in stasis, so you're stealing. I don't know if that's their speed meter or their actual speed. Either way, it's a huge deal.
Good.
You're just gonna be, I don't know, panic is a huge problem. I don't know, like, it's pretty easy to go to turn limit again if you have a Pain and Panic.
Okay.
Like, I think Pain and Panics are a huge problem.
Pegasus, no. Pete, no. Phil, no. Pluto, no. Pocahontas, just more support in general. If you guys think she's viable, let me know. But no.
It seems like she just got a little bit better, right?
Prince Eric, who cares? Cora, who cares? Rafiki, no. Randall, no. Rapunzel, more offense for her leadership. 50% chance for harmful effects be flipped instead of cleansed. More damage for her. I'm not sure about that. Raya, whatever. Robin Hood, whatever. Sally, no. Scar, no. Scrooge, no. Calhoun, no. Shan Yu, leadership. 30% chance for Kingdom teammates to gain haste for two turns on opponent defeat.
Interesting.
50% damage for Special B. Is that Headbutt or is that Falcon?
Special B is Headbutt, yeah.
Okay.
I'm really liking the shiny buffs.
Yeah, he's gonna be strong.
And
Shere
his
Khan,
now too, so
whatever. Sheriff gets more damage, but he got nerfed already. Simba, no. Sorcerer Apprentice Mickey, whatever. Steamboat, whatever. Stitch, no. Sully, no. Sven, no. Syndrome. Leadership, 30% chance for villain teammates to get critical power up for one turn on their next turn start. DTVs, I don't think is viable yet. No.
Beast. Damage on his basic. 50% damage on the basic is good. That's a strong basic,
Yeah.
just like Herc.
Huge deal. And
Special
50% on
A.
his roar as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Special
And
A
that's,
is his taunt, right?
Yeah. And
So-
something nice about the special A and the basic is you're right. You're doing those pretty frequently if you're running a
Yeah.
paired bell. So both those gain
Yeah.
damage boost is also increasing how valuable Bell is as a pairing.
Then special B is one helpful effect stolen. So does that turn up to how many effects does he normally steal? And what would this come to? 3 or 2?
2 to 3 now.
2 to 3. Okay, not bad.
Or
Beast is good.
2 is going to 3.
All right. Manticore, whatever. Queen of Hearts, no. Tinkerbell, no. Ursula, damage on her basic, and then another 50% damage on her base damage for special A, which is her dots, right?
Yes.
Okay. So more offense to Flotsam and Jetsam. Her passive B is 20% chance to steal magic, 2% bonus offense for villain allies. So it's not oceanic villains, it's just villain allies. Passive C. So they did nothing to her polymorph, right?
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Yeah, special B's are polymorph. They didn't touch that. So just more damage for Ursula, and then a little bit more damage for her leadership to bonus or for
Passive
villains.
B potentially could be a big deal. Stealing that magic.
Yeah.
That could be a nice one.
Violet, who cares? Wasabi,
More
who
shield.
cares? Woody, who cares? Yokai, who cares? Yzma, who cares? There's some closing thoughts.
I was really hoping Woody would get unnerfed again.
Maybe
Right.
maybe at ability level 8, well, he'll be unnerfed.
Right? Like, get rid of that magic cost again. I'm sure it's fine.
Wait a
It says
little.
when we make a new character, we try to plan out their future upgrades. While preparing this update for you, we saw many opportunities to take characters that needed a little bit more help than others and give them a more powerful upgrades than we originally planned. While this, of course, won't extend to every character, quite a few characters were changed. Hopefully, with your favorite Disney characters, we'll feel better even before with this update. And we're always closely monitoring how you play the game as we keep future changes and character refreshes in mind. Whatever. So what's the consensus? Hercules busted, Pain and Panic good.
Okay. Here, let me have a correlation to show you. So, the 2 moves that are getting plus 50% damage dealt, right? That's the same as offense up. So, his damage with no offense up for those 2 abilities is the same as his damage is now with offense up. And then when he has offense up, it's even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's bad news.
So I guess like if you're just joining in and we looked at everything. I mean, I guess the character that stand out to me is definitely Herc, Hades, Pain and Panic, Beast. Anyone else? Elsa, maybe Show Yourself makes a return. Who knows? But that's another 50%
I could see like
damage.
Barley, Elsa stuff becoming good again.
Anything we missed?
I just like trying to take everything in. I mean,
Yeah.
overall, it's just a bunch of upgrades to damage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I guess
I'm
is kind of expected.
Ooh, Shan Yu's a big winner.
But I have to like
Potential
really go through them
Moana
all.
with more damage from her.
Potential Gantu with the full tactics.
Good point.
We all know that's going to be Boba Life's first Delta upgrade.
Who? What? Which one? Which one?
The Gantu tactics one.
Oh.
We'll have to see. I mean, if I were to make predictions right now, obviously Hero's going to be the first to get dumped, but we'll see if either Kingdom Villains makes a return with Shan Yu, and we'll see how that leadership scales with the other teams that you go up against. I don't know if Princess will finally be able to have a place in the meta with Rapunzel and offense and things like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
I was hoping Rapunzel's lead would get a little more love than the 1% damage, but that is if you're using 5 princess damage. So it's not nothing, but I was hoping it'd be a boost to the speed. But maybe we'll see some of these slower speed teams get a little better with the fall of Big Hero 6 speed teams.
So let me ask you this really quick, Sky. And I know, obviously, if we're all doing, like, if we got to go or whatever, we can obviously do that. We feel like we covered everything. My question for you, Sky, is, so if the meta becomes this like kingdom villains, and obviously you can farm Shan Yu through Sorcerer's Tournament, but if it's like Frollo and Namari, and I don't know who else is in the team, like, those are extremely whaley to get, right?
Yeah. So the thing about the meta right now is, and I think it's only going to come more this way, seeing all this, is you need to run Herc and Ursula in every single team if you're at the top of the meta, right? Because plainly you can't compete with teams that have Herc and Ursula without them, for the most part. So you're seeing these, like, you pick Herc, you pick up Ursula, and you pick 3 other characters. So the 2 kingdom routes to go right now are Shan Yu, Namari, and Frollo, or you go Shan Yu, Bell, and Beast. So Shan Yu, Bell, Beast, Herc, Ursula sounds really good to me.
Yeah, dude.
With this change, since a lot of those characters are big winners and none of them got nerfed. Herc is a little worse now, but then with the Delta upgrades you give him, he's gonna be even better than he ever was before.
I'm happy investing in princesses, though. That's been my main investment right now is princesses.
Yeah. I mean, right? No one that's any type of princess got hit at all by the nerfs.
I did
the
something
nerfs
right
really
for
confused
once.
me. The nerfs really confused me because the best characters in the game by so far are Herc and Ursula. By so far. And Herc's, the biggest change to him, right, isn't going to be active. Even they hoped it was going to be active for this, but it's taking longer. So who knows when the change to vulnerable, or protect while invulnerable will happen.
So a quick thing really quick, because I like the team that Sky said, because I actually have those characters because I'm so far away from Frollo and Namari, but like we skipped over Belle really quick, but it was just 50% damage on her basic, her special A, which caused Beast to, I think, or special A, 10% chance to reduce speed meter. Is that on? That's
That should, yeah, that's the mirror yell one.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I mean, reducing speed meter is always
well.
a good thing.
The interesting thing about Belle is, right. So I was talking about it a little earlier. Is since her damage comes from Beast getting damage boosts buffs Belle's damage effectively.
Yeah.
Right. So her basic got a damage boost, but she never deals damage with her basic. To upgrade her basic, you upgrade Beast's basic. And same thing with her mirror special, right? So yeah, I think Belle and Beast got quite a bit better, especially with the nerfs to different characters too.
And then doesn't I mean, obviously, even though you said like her basic damage doesn't do that much damage, but doesn't she call on, how many teammates does she call on when she does her basic?
Calls 2.
So
it's Beast and one other character if you have it at, I think, level 3.
Yeah. So like if you're running Herc and Herc got his basic damage increase, so in general, like that's a strong combo now. If you're,
right,
if
and
you're
you get to
calling
sweet spot it too,
Herc.
right? So you can call Herc and Beast every single time if you're placing Herc in that middle spot, which it should be.
I hope that becomes I mean, if that becomes some type of new meta where it's Shan Yu, Belle, Beast, Herc, and Ursula, like that's gonna make me feel better because I have those characters. But like, if it's heavy princess or heavy kingdom villain, it's gonna take me forever to catch up on some of that stuff just because I didn't wail out on these first passes.
And you just can't get Namari without spending, right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
You just can't.
What are her requirements for Namari?
Reasonably. Adventurers, which I'm ready to roll. I got 5 7-star adventurers.
We gotta get them up.
Yeah.
That's really a problem. I don't think I have enough adventurers.
We could check Namari. That's one we didn't look at. Namari and Frollo. We could see if they got any meaningful.
Shoot! I have 4 out of the 5 like unlockable farmable adventures are 7 stars. Didn't realize that.
Well,
Just
Frollo
Bo Peep.
isn't on the Frollo isn't on the sheet, on the Delta sheet, if this is for Deltas. And then Namari, she's right here.
Mari
Yeah,
is
basic
something.
plus 50% damage. Special A. I don't know if that's the flanking or the AoE one. 50% bonus damage. And then passive A is plus 5% damage reduction per hit. And plus 15% max reduction.
Special A for Namari is the Surlat's Fangs. That's where she hits the flanking opponents.
Cool, yeah. 50% bonus damage is pretty nice.
Load.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. The most one I'm surprised about being excited for, I say, were Elsa and Gantu. Everyone else, honestly, it made sense to me that they got the buffs they did. And I'm gonna be cutting out now. I just used all my fast hotspot. But yeah,
Shoot.
those are my 2, I'd say, surprise standouts so far. And I could just be wrong, but both of them seem real good.
I think we did a quick brief analysis. By the way, Steve, I looked at Claude Frollo. He's not on here. He's in alphabetical order. He's not up here. I'm looking
Yep.
at the list right now.
Is he just under F for Frollo, maybe?
We would have seen him if we would have went down. I definitely.
Yeah,
would've
you're
stopped
right.
at him.
I don't think he's on here. Is there anyone else that they didn't put then? Like,
Sorry, Frollo.
We'll have to look. We'll have time to look at this. Obviously, these
Yeah.
just came out when we were doing the pod live. So, Sky, I know you got to go. I don't want you to get overages on your data.
well, I won't get overages. It just could be really slow right now.
Oh, okay, good. I just want to make sure.
They're just slowing me down. They're not charging me.
You're just like, you're gonna go down
I may
to
be
3G.
dropping. I'm dropping frames right now too. This is awesome. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the pod? Dude, Dragon, do you want to do anything
I just want
else,
to say,
or-
I'm sure we're missing some really good abilities, right?
Yeah.
But kind of just like bear with us. This got dropped while we were on the podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I think we did a pretty good job of covering meaningful changes.
I agree.
I guess like final thoughts for me. if Elsa's Show Yourself can compete with Herc's abilities damage wise and stuff, I might be a little happy. That would be kind of cool.
Wait. I have actually something really important to say.
Okay, say it.
So the last time they dropped abilities, they dropped all the abilities for both Gear 7.5 and Gear 8. But
Yeah.
they only released Gear 7.5, and we had to wait for those Gear 8 abilities, even though they were on the sheet they gave out. So half of these abilities are probably capped at Gear 9, which isn't going to come right away, is what I think.
Yeah. that's
True.
So I think half of these abilities we're going to have to wait a lot more time.
Spell Sign says nothing from the Hunchback trio. Yeah, we didn't see Quasi, Esmeralda, or Frollo on the sheet.
Yeah, good point.
Probably means there's probably characters that they didn't put on there. We didn't even realize it, and we'll eventually see
Yeah.
it. Like even Wally, I don't think we saw those guys, right?
Oh, good call. Yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
aren't on here.
So
Even Wally could be more viable now too. Who knows?
the Delta, right?
Because being the Big Hero 6 tag is worth less than it used to be.
True. Holy sh!
Because the problem with
Oh,
even
man.
Wally is like, just run Big Hero 6. What are you gonna do? Run them with Hero Lead?
Yeah.
Get half the speed increase? So even Wally could be better now.
And I'm probably gonna say something controversial now, but you know, people ask for things like nerfs and stuff, right? And then when they get it, they're not happy because it's actually coming, right? Does that make sense? Like with what's his name, Hero, for instance. So I think people, I said this in my video too, people don't know what they want, and they want content and new stuff, and then once they get it, they're just kind of like in a froggy brain or foggy brain and just don't know what to think about it, so then they just are angry. And I think the same thing can be said with this. It was just a big dump. Like Sky said, we can't digest this in 2 minutes. It'll take
Yeah.
a while. I don't think
We can do our best.
yeah, I mean, I don't know every single person's kit, and a lot of these things I didn't even know there were problems and what's really going to benefit. But I think in the end, I'm happy. I'm happy we're getting things. It might not be exactly what we want, But holy crap, guys, you went what 6+ months with nothing. I think we need a little more positivity. We need to be a little more happy.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna shake
the nerfs
everything
are-
up. It's gonna shake everything up. Be prepared. Your
Yeah.
roster you have right now is not gonna be the one after this update. So just be prepared. Yes, it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be pretty. You're gonna have to pivot and stuff. But change is good. People don't like change, and that's the biggest thing. People just don't like change.
Love change. God, I've been sick of PvP, guys. It's been so hard to do my dailies.
But that's my 2 cents.
It's interesting for me because like I'm trying to think like obviously this is going to affect PvP and stuff too, but it seems like it's going to affect a lot of the other game modes too, and it seems like they're trying to prepare maybe for a future raid where obviously they're working on that, so they don't want Sven doing tons of damage, and maybe they're doing this stuff like pre-plan for a raid that may become months and months in the future. Obviously I don't think raid will still be easy to clear. Obviously it's not a problem. I'm not going to be worried about that. Especially
I think
for
you'll
the
need the whole club again though.
yeah, maybe.
Instead of
When
there
I-
just being 10 people who finish it every day, you know, like
Yeah, when
them
I
just
think
10
of the-
people.
When I think of the hero nerf, like obviously I think of it as having big implications in PvP, but like think about it in terms of PvE content too, where he's so strong in PvE, and obviously with the adventure mode, like you know, people are gonna be running full like either Big Hero 6 teams or things like that just to completely speed out PvE content. So it may be for that too. So obviously I think the hero nerf is well deserved, and obviously I'm with Sky and even Dragon where there's more enthusiasm to see some type of shift in the meta, regardless of where it goes. But if that enables other content like this new adventure mode Ascension to be difficult because you can't just get carried by hero the entire time, I think it works. I'm still confused about the whole sheriff stuff, and although Bubbles has been amazing since he's came out, he hasn't been in every single game mode all the time, as far as kind of what we've seen. The last thing I'm gonna say too, and I said this when we first looked at the new character ability upgrades when we first did this last year. It seemed like all the damn good characters got the best upgrades, and it's like we're seeing the same thing again. Like we're seeing the Herc stuff, we're seeing the Beast stuff, we're seeing Elsa Show Yourself again getting upgrades, and we didn't see characters like Queen of Hearts or like any other characters that are really low on the totem pole get things that could be potentially. I think we need to expect reworks from them in order to make that happen, but it seems like the best characters keep getting better, which is, I don't know, it makes sense a little bit, but it's also a little bit frustrating to me. And
Yeah.
I didn't mention Hades or Pain and Panic and stuff like that too, but it's like every character we listed is pretty much almost not top tier, but they're higher in the end. And just listen how many characters we skipped just because they're so irrelevant and there's nothing even worth looking at. So yes.
I mean, part of that too is when you talk about like the poor get poor, the rich get richer, right? Is a 50% bonus damage dealt to Mrs. Potts basic is not going to change much.
Yeah.
But a 50% bonus to Herc and Beast's basic, they got the same exact buff. But those two characters have the strongest two basics in the game, which are already broken, and they're getting a 50% boost. And then Mrs. Potts never even uses her basic. She has a 0 magic heal, or 1 magic heal, right? Like, it's like, it's hard for a single upgrade to change a kit unless it's something big like a magic reduction or a completely new addition to the ability.
Yes.
And I would like to see things like, I think magic reduction is such an easy way to help a character, and I was hoping we'd see more of that in some low tier characters. I know Scrooge got some type of thing. Maybe we skipped some good buffs with Scrooge, but yeah, it is what it is.
Be happy, guys. Got stuff to do in the game now.
I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to get my internet in, stream tomorrow, talk all day about this stuff, man. I'm ready.
Oh, stream all day. Stream all day, Scott. Yes. But yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Juice? Any final thoughts?
No, I think be patient, and obviously we've been talking a lot about this tonight, but you know, all it takes is the next legendary event to really kind of throw a wrench into things, and all it takes is one character to really, you know, have a huge impact and change the meta and things like that. So just be patient with it, see what happens, and I don't know. I'm tired of going up against the same teams every day in PvP, so hopefully we see a little bit of fresh air, and maybe the PvE content gets harder, and it's not worth. I don't want a new game mode to come out, and like I said, clear it within like a couple hours. Like it needs to. I want it to take a while. I want to like have the community come together and look up strats and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm excited about. So hopefully we get that.
You sounded like the dad from Mulan. A single grain of rice can tip the scale. A single warrior can be the
Jeez.
difference between victory and defeat.
Gosh.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is probably one of our longer episodes we've had in a long time. We got random drop.
But well deserved, because we had things to talk about finally. This was great. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
This is the first episode where we literally just talked straight DSA without derailing really in a long time, which I'm really happy about. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for episode 14. We will see you guys in a couple weeks, and we'll probably see Ascension campaign and everything and hear all your guys' thoughts of that. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you on next time. Have a good one.
Peace.
See you guys.